I'm Rein Wolfs. I'm director of the Stedelijk Museum in Amsterdam, a museum for modern and contemporary art and design. Today, always when you start to work somewhere at the museum, you have to change a lot of things. You have to do change management. And I think we changed quite a lot the last 5 years. I'm there since 5 years right now. We changed the whole collection display. We also changed the way we are acquiring. I think we are more on a global track in terms of acquiring. Of course, we are also part of the whole decolonization theory and questions as a museum. We are an important museum for modern and contemporary arts, but we were always a very Western museum. We were a museum with a Western collection, with a Western European and Northern American collection, and partly also with a Russian Malevich collection. And I think since 5-6 years, but already a bit longer before I came there, the museum starts to think broader. And we put also, for instance, a quote. We said that we want to invest like 50% of the yearly acquisition budget for works by non-Western artists, non-Western makers, and we succeeded in doing that. When you look at the Netherlands, we are the leading museum for modern and contemporary art, already since a long time, already since about 120 years, I think. And when we start to do something, it always has a signaling function, and not only the Netherlands, but also a bit broader, a bit more in Europe also. I think it's necessary for a museum like us to sometimes be a bit radical in terms of like signaling that changes must be taken. The museum world has too long fought in terms of exclusion, and we needed to become more inclusive, and we are a bit right now. We are, and that's another story, because the world is changing again, and when you look at what's happening in the United States, or also what's happening in our own country and in a lot of European countries, is the new anti-wokeism which is taking place. I just had long discussions with our staff the last weeks that for us it's important to stay as woke as we are, and woke in the good sense, in the positive sense of the word, but to find ways of communicating a bit differently in order not to go under in the anti-wokeism of today. It's always easier to work abroad. That's what I always say to everybody, and that's an experience more people have, because when you're abroad and when you're not in your own country, you can change things a bit more easy, because people accept more changeability of somebody who is not somebody of their own. And at home it's most difficult, but at the end you need this challenge also. I had great fun of working in Germany, great fun of working in Switzerland, and at home work is more like challenging and like really trying to convince the people around you, the people you grew up with, the people who are part of your own identity and history, to be able to make changes. The world is as big as the world is these days. We spoke about the global village since Marshall McLuhan, I think, in the 1960s or 70s, and we didn't go back anymore. So our local problems or challenges are also global challenges and problems. I don't see that much difference in that, only that in the one part of the world it's more radical. What we as the global north as I can put it a bit, maybe also have to learn to cope with, is that the global north and the global south are much more equal parties, or even that the global south is stronger than the global north in some respects. And this is a new perspective. This is a new way of thinking about balance in the world. And sometimes I see, also with myself, but also with colleagues, and also with colleague museums, also with countries around us, that this is a difficult process, and it's difficult and challenging to accept that the world is changing and that there are different power structures than there used to be. We already had in the last few years, we changed quite a lot. We bought some bigger works and some major works of some African artists, like for instance Elena Tsui or also Ikshan Adams, also to make clear and to give this signal that we are on the changing track. We also started to look more at the colonial past of the Netherlands. We did a show on art from Suriname, and we acquired quite some works from Suriname. The only thing is, today I would not make an identity political show like that anymore, because I think we should think in terms of integration again, and we should think of a broader focus in which former colonial positions can be shown in the same context as the other positions. We should bring the different parts of the colonial process together in one room, in one way, and we should show the new balance in that sense. South Asian art is probably part of the future, and I mean there were a lot of new focus countries being mentioned the last 10 or 20 years, and it took a bit longer for India, but also, for instance, for Indonesia to get this focus point, and I think it has to do with the way that maybe. Formally spoken, and in terms of aesthetics, the traditional aspects kept maybe longer than in other emerging economies, kept a more sustainable part of the whole aesthetics, and so it was maybe even more different than what we thought was our culture, so to say. And I think finally, by doing the first steps on decolonization, we learned to accept and to see the specific qualities also of the art from India, of the art from Indonesia, of the art from the Philippines, and of the art of other countries of South Asia. And this is different than what happened, for instance, with the big investments in Chinese art in the 1990s. This did not happen with art from India in the European world. But I think we are there now, and we are ready to take the next step, and to step deeper and to dig deeper into the Indian art scene. Well, what I've seen so far is basically also that we are working in the same field, and that we are all working on the same subject matter. If I saw the show of Shilpa Gupta this morning, for instance, and I see the show right here. I see the way of display, the way things are displayed, the cardboard aesthetics in the one gallery, for instance. the accents and the focus on the process, on the processual things of design. And I think there we are all on the same track and on the new global track. And I think we needed a few years, all of us, to broaden our scope, to broaden our perspective, and to be able to see what we see and accept what we see. And right now I think we are there, and at least I am there, and also my colleagues are there, and we are constantly in the Stedelijk Museum speaking about this new global and different global balance.